réussi à mettre des bons jalons. C'était to put very good roots on what we are doing, and because thanks to that roots, it's easier for us to understand what the Ben Ish Chai is building chapter after chapter in his book. C'est ça, on arrive à comprendre de mieux en mieux ce que le Ben Ish Chai construit chapitre après chapitre dans son livre. C'est attaché qu'on puisse continuer ainsi et qu'aussi on puisse avoir le même rythme d'avancée pour le livre. May we continue like that and also have the same logical of progression when it comes about the book itself, what we are writing, the connecting. Share with you the text in the group already. J'ai écrit le texte déjà dans le groupe. And then let's take the information. We are in the English book. We are on the page 102. On est à la page 102. Let's go, Bezat Hashem. Someone can read for me in English? Well, you want the English? Okay. You read English? Yeah, okay, thank you. So let's start. Let's take information before to study. Like usual, on prend les informations. Yes, 102.
Feeling satisfied with one's lot in life. A woman should work on feeling satisfied with her lot in life. Envy for others, possession will accomplish nothing but make her sorrowful and despondent. As a result of this negative character trait, she will never derive pleasure from any of her purchases, no matter how costly they may be. Her desire for that which is owned by others will perforce remain unfulfilled. Therefore, the value of her own possession will diminish in her eyes. In contrast, when a woman is able to eradicate this trait from her personality, she will always feel confident with what she has. The following two legends sharply illustrates this idea. Now carry on.
Yeah, continue.
A king once asked one of his subjects, if you wish, I will make you enormously wealthy. God blessed be his name, has not withheld anything from me, for I already am a ruler of a nation. The simple man unexpectedly answered. Astonished.
Il dit, I'll translate in French now, after I'm going to explain. La femme doit se contenter de son sort et dissiper de son cœur toute jalousie. So it seems to be very, very normal for the Ben Ish Chai that women are build, negative feelings in their nature. It's what it seems to be because it starts straight with that. Il commence directement avec ça. Il dit la femme qui pose les yeux sur l'argent de sa compagne, sur les habits ou sur les biens, ne connaîtra pas la satisfaction et aura dans sa vie beaucoup d'afflictions. Toute son existence, elle se sentira affamée. Et du fait de l'ampleur de sa jalousie, plus elle enviera les autres, plus elle aura le sentiment d'être démunie. car elle convoitera celle-ci, puis celle-là, sans rien retirer à cela, de cela. So what does it mean? This is a big issue. It's a big transgression, because in the 10 speeches that Sayyid brought, we have one of them, Lot Ahmad. Don't build and envy, ne construis pas d'envie. And they say, no, you know, in the nature, women's, I put brackets, they are attracted by the idea of seeing what the other possess as, and they clothes, the kitchen, this and that things. And they said, you should fight against that. Tu devrais combattre cette idée-là d'envier ce que les autres ont. Why? Because he said, you will never fulfill that desire. Tu vas jamais satisfaire ce désir-là. What does it mean we're gonna see? Après, il dit, quant à la femme qui est satisfaite de son sort et ne regarde pas la fortune de sa voisine, elle connaîtra toujours la joie, la plénitude et aura l'œil bon. Un roi dit à un homme, exprime tes désirs, je ferai de toi un riche. Je possède un royaume, et le Créateur béni soit-il ne m'a privé de rien, répondit l'homme. Où est donc ton royaume? Où sont donc tes trésors? Demanda le souverain. Mon cœur est mon trésor, et la joie que j'éprouve de mon sort et mon royaume, expliqua-t-il. So all this seems to be very nice. People will tell you, at the end of the day, we need materiality. So ça semble très joli. Les gens vont te dire toujours, en fin de compte, on a toujours besoin de la matérialité. Because even if I'm not building any envy about what I'm seeing, but I still have some idea of what I need. Même si je ne construis pas d'envie sur ce que je vois, mais j'ai toujours une idée précise de ce que j'ai besoin. But the big question is what you need really what you must have? Est-ce que ce que vous avez besoin, c'est toujours ce que vous devez avoir? Meaning, from where comes the desire of saying, I need that? D'où vient le désir de dire, je ai besoin de ça? Needs. D'où ça vient? Yes. Can you read more?
Astonished at this, replied the king demanded, where is your nation and your treasure, O mighty king? The subject humbly answered, why, the nation is my heart, and my satisfaction with my lot in life is my treasure. Followed by his recompense, these rest one, sorry, I can't say that word. Encourage a king and his possession passed by the city Garbiton. From the depths of the dark, the king discerned a faintly twinkled light, ordering his soldiers and ministers to come to a halt. He dismounted and made his way towards the source of the light. As he came nearer, the sound of gaiety and laughter reached his ears. With mounting curiosity, he continued forward. The sight which reached his eyes was absolutely astonishing. There, in the midst of the stinking refuse, a man, a woman, dressed in filthy rags, sat in a makeshift hut made of oak blankets, singing and laughing with a wild abandonment. A flat stone served as their table, broken bottles as cups, and small shovels as plates. Their feast consists of pieces of dried bread and water. The man addressed his wife by the appellation, most gracious and fair queen, while she referred to him as Your Highness. Upon hearing this, the king's curiosity overcame his pride. He entered the squadron pack and, sitting next to the Philippine couple, asked them the reason for their celebration. It was very simple, Your Highness, he began. The vile, smelling man, tonight we had enough food with which to sate our hunger, but our substance consists of only dry bread and water is of no matter to us, for we are happy with our lot in life. Furthermore, you do not believe there is anyone in the entire world who feels more content than we do tonight. For this reason, we do not feel any misgiving about our condition in life. Thus, can't you now understand, most noble king, why we celebrate with such vigorous joy?
Il dit, une nuit, le roi et le prince se promenaient dans la ville. Ils passèrent à proximité du dépôt d'ordures et voici qu'une lumière brillait dans le dépôt. Ils s'approchèrent et virent au centre une habitation dans laquelle logeait un homme et une femme très pauvres, au visage misérable. Et s'étaient confectionnés des habits à partir de chiffons qu'ils avaient trouvés dans les ordures et avaient allumé du pétrole pour s'éclairer. Devant eux, ils avaient arrangé des pierres pour en faire une table et des mottes de terre pour en faire des assiettes. Ils y mangeaient les aliments qu'ils avaient ramassés et amassés. À la place des petits verres d'arak, ils avaient mis de l'eau dans le fond de la bouteille. Des débris de récipients leur servaient de verre. La femme tenait entre ses mains un tambourin, tandis que son mari chantait et fredonnait. Il chantait ses chants et elle lui répondait. Ils étaient transportés d'une joie sans pareille. Le mari dosait l'eau dans le débris du récipient, buvait à la bonne santé et la bénissait. Elle aussi le bénissait. Il l'appelait reine et elle le qualifiait de roi des continents et des mers. Il lui exprimait 1000 bénédictions et elle lui prodiguait des myriades, stupéfait par leur joie et par leur style de vie. Le roi s'approcha et leur demanda comment, dans leur pauvreté et leur misère, avec de tels aliments et une telle boisson, comment, avec ces habits et ces habitations pitoyables, leur joie pouvait-elle être si forte et si intense? Comment leur plaisir pouvait-il être si grand et élevé? Cette nuit, grâce à ce que nous avons ramassé, nous disposons d'un manger qui rassasie les affamés. Même s'il ne s'agit que de peu de riz et de pain sec, nous nous en contentons. Nous avons le sentiment que personne n'est assouvi comme nous le sommes, qu'aucun logement ne vaut le nôtre et qu'aucune table n'est supérieure à la nôtre. De ce fait, il se trouve dans notre cœur ni chagrin, ni tristesse, ni confusion, ni désarroi. Notre joie est donc grande et notre exaltation redoublée. Le roi fut étonné de leurs paroles et de leurs pensées. Que l'Éternel vous bénisse votre joie, qu'il vous protège toujours, qu'il préserve votre plaisir et votre exaltation, leur dit-il. The story seems to be very, very nice. It's like a movie. It's a deep question. C'est une question très profonde. Liyot sameach bichelko. To be happy about your own lot. How is it possible? About one's lot in life. Comment c'est possible? Because sometimes people consider that your lot is not so good. Sometimes you consider yourself that not being in the best lot. Des fois, toi-même, tu te dis, j'ai pas le meilleur lot. Why? Because you always want better, different, or like the other. Tu veux mieux, différemment et comme les autres. So my first question, how can I be satisfied about my own lot? Comment on peut être satisfait de son propre lot, de son propre. Comment on peut être satisfait de son propre sort? How is it possible? It's very hard. We're satisfied.
Somebody else, if you want to come, as I was reading this, I had a flashback. I remember when I was in Brazil, there was on the TV, there were these two people that lived in the streets, they were homeless. They found a bag with lots of money. What did they do? They went to hand it in. And because they were homeless, and it went everywhere, it went viral, it was in the news. Why don't you keep the money? You know? Because they were poor, it made news. It's like they were happy with their lot.
Yes. But how do we do?
Yeah.
Comment on fait pour être de son sort? Your answer is so simple, it's too high. People. Yes. 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 But when people, they hear what you say, I say to them the same thing. That every day they are in front of situation or people tell them, no, look at your lot. It's not so great. Even if they trust your speech and they know that you're saying the truth, the ultimate truth, they will put that famous but. Ils vont écouter, ils vont dire, oui, non, c'est vrai, tu dis, c'est ça, c'était ce qu'elle a dit là-bas, il t'a dit, voilà. Juste faire confiance à Dieu, te dire qu'il sait mieux que toi ce que tu as besoin. Mais les gens, ils te disent, oui, mais, oh, you can see it, you can tell them, no, look, I'm happy about my situation. And they say, okay, oh, amazing faith. 2 weeks later, they came back, you know, I saw you miss that. You don't want me to help you for that. So no. Before 2 weeks, I told you I'm happy about what I have. And you say you understand me. And now you came again to give me that option and that option because you think that this is the way for me to be more happy. Et des fois, c'est comme ça, les gens, on leur parle, tu leur dis des situations, tu dis, ah, ok, c'est bien, tu manifestes une grande foi, Bezrat Hashem, mais ils reviennent à la charge en te proposant des situations que tu n'as pas demandé. It can be shidur, it can be working, it can be houses, it can be moving forward. People tell you, what are you doing with your life? So how do you do? How do we do to bring our words to be powerful in the ears of people who are going to hear us saying, I'm happy about what I have. Comment on fait? We're going to see les attachés. Next chapter. So, yes.
Yeah. How to remain cheerful and also a woman must strive to maintain a cheerful expression on her face and to feel content in her heart, especially when in her husband's presence. Even if there's a legitimate reason for her to feel somber, it is incumbent on her to try to overcome this natural reaction and conquer her sorrow. In truth, it is in a person's best interest to subdue feelings of despondency, since harboring such feelings harmful to one's physical and emotional being. Eventually, this unhealthy state would defeat her inner strength and will undermine her resolve in fulfilling mitzvah. In turn, this will damage her relationship with her husband, and in time it will ruin her life. Understand, precious women, one method how to overcome feeling of self-pity when confronted with misfortune is to contemplate more serious tragedies that have occurred to others. Having done so, a person will naturally think, thank God that has not happened to me. One must place his trust in God and understand that every event in one's life, no matter how much it may seem to result from other factors, is his will. One who truly comprehends this concept will always accept every occurrence in his life with the utmost joy.
Dit comme ça. So like this. Dit, une femme, la femme doit toujours apparaître avec un visage souriant et un cœur joyeux, en particulier en présence de son mari. So this first sentence says a lot. We have to understand that what we express, it creates energy. Ce qu'on exprime, ça crée de l'énergie. When you read the ethics of the fathers, on écrit les Pirkavot, it says receive everybody with a nice face. Pour ça, tout le monde avec un visage souriant, accueillant. Someone have always to think about this point. No matter who is in front of you, it can be your husband for 40 years, ça peut être ton mari pour 40 ans. Always ask yourself, how is my face? And you should be listening about yourself when people talk about you. Oh, you are always smiling. Il faut qu'à un moment, les gens disent, non, tu es toujours souriant. Because it's the proof that this is what they see, they perceive from you. So he's telling you here, il dit ici, Ne construisez pas une mauvaise dynamique. Because people who are sensitive, parce que les gens qui sont sensibles, it will block them. Ça va les bloquer. Or they will try to understand what's wrong. Like we see in the Torah, Yosef, when he was in the jail, he saw this servant of Paro, after the bad dream he had, he has that face very close. So what's happened? Tell me. Like l'histoire de Yosef, on voit qu'il est en prison avec ce serviteur de Pharaon qui est emprisonné et qui a fait un mauvais rêve. Il dit, qu'est-ce qui se passe? So never, never think that what you express is not so important. Don't think that people will know you by your speech. Always think that your face has to be receptive and positive for the other. Pensez toujours que votre face doit être positive pour les autres, especially if it's your husband, c'est le mari. Si une peine lui a été occasionnée, elle doit surmonter sa nature, vaincre l'oppression, dissiper le mal et ne laisser persister dans son cœur ni souci ni tristesse. Car la détresse porte tort, détruit le corps et nuit aux yeux. So be careful, because if you start to keep anything in your heart, because someone hurt you, said, and you don't succeed to overcome these feelings, it will destroy your own body. It will destroy your eyes. It will destroy basically your happiness, and you will have a lot of suicide. Tu vas avoir beaucoup de soucis. Elle exercera une influence néfaste sur son état d'âme, troublera son esprit et ternira son humeur. Elle détériorera sa vie, détruira sa santé, et pour finir, ébranlera son renforcement dans les lois de la Torah. So what the Penishra is saying to you, say, women, we know you see a lot. We know you feel a lot. Je dis quoi les femmes, on sait que vous voyez beaucoup. On sait que vous sentez beaucoup. We know you are very spiritual and special. On sait que vous êtes très spirituel et spécial. C'est because of this sensitivity, you have to be strong about the feeling which are in front of you or inside of you. Parce que vous êtes sensible, vous êtes fort par rapport à ces sentiments-là qui sont à l'intérieur de vous. This is, for example, all the work I'm doing here with the students. Because if you want to study more and more and more Torah, and to know the Torah at a very high level, you have to be someone who overcome and under his feelings. C'est quelqu'un qui sait gérer ses sentiments. Because when you see people, thanks to the wisdom that you have by studying, you will understand what's happened. You even understand who is lying to you, who is playing with you, who's going to bring you to a bad place in the discussion. But you still stay calm and receive the person with the same desire, like, I'm happy, you're welcome. Et malgré ça, tu dois rester calme, même en sachant ce qui va se passer, parce que les gens sont mal intentionnés. Il faut toujours réussir à rester calme. So I said, you women, you have already that stage, naturally. Vous avez déjà cette étape naturelle. We men, we have to build the student to be able to be wise and to stay calm no matter what they will listen, or no matter what they will hear from this one or that one. To be able to always give the proper advice and not to connect what you have heard or seen or understood from the body language, the eyes, this. It's not about that. It's about being always open-minded. C'est tout sauf se laisser aller à des états d'humeur par rapport à ce que vous voyez de la personne. Parce que vous savez, ne jamais juger. Comprenez, mesdames, pour chaque événement qui survient à l'homme, il lui faut considérer que c'est une sentence parmi les plus dures qui aurait pu lui être appliquée et dire « Oui, soit éternel, le miséricordieux, le charitable ». Il doit donc s'en remettre au Créateur du ciel, soit-il, du sommet soit-il, d'accepter l'état des choses avec joie. C'est no matter what bad situation you face, peu importe ce que tu traverses, you have to understand that this is the best and it may be worst. Tu dois comprendre que c'est la meilleure, ça aurait pu être pire. Après, il dit, un homme eut un jour une plaie purulente au talon. Il en souffrait beaucoup et cependant il louait l'Éternel. Il disait, j'aime mon Créateur car la plaie ne m'a pas été faite au cou. En effet, celui qui prend à cœur un mal au doigt ne connaît pas de joie. Du fait de son désarroi, ils sont dans la peine. Du temps du temple de Yerushalayim se trouvait un homme important, fort riche et qui connaissait la réussite. Il avait une fille humble, pudique, qui aimait s'adonner à la Torah et à ses commandements. Son ardeur pour la Torah était très grande. En voici qu'elle constata qu'un des bergers employés à son père était bon, fort discret, extrêmement humble. Elle lui dit alors, si tu t'engages à aller au centre d'études d'apprendre la Torah et ses lois, je veux bien être ta femme et ta biche, ta compagne. Après, yes, tu peux continuer.
Yeah, okay. For example, if a person has an infected wound on his leg, he should be thankful to God that his wound is only on his leg and not on his neck. Instead of being self-pitying here, his attitude will allow the victim of adversity to feel preaching as well as grateful to God for not having had him experiencing their sorrow. During times when the wreck was still standing, there lived a very wealthy man called Balthasar Shavua. His daughter Rachel was an extremely God-fearing and modest woman. She loved the study of Torah more than anything else in her life. Akiva, one of her father's uneducated shepherds, asked her to become his wife. She perceived that Akiva was an humble man, but that he was totally ignorant of Torah studies. I will marry you only on one condition, Akiva, Rachel answered the man. You must go to the Sage's house of study and take up the study of Torah. If you give me your word that you will fulfill this condition, I will agree to become your wife. The kid accepted Rachel's condition, and soon after he became man and wife. When Rachel's father heard that his righteous children had married an arrogant shepherd, he became furious with her. He ordered her to leave the house and vowed not to allow her to benefit from any of his possessions. Rachel dutifully left his house empty-handed, since she had studied enough Torah to know that her father's vow was legally bounding. Akiva did not have the means to provide his wife with a proper home. As a result, the first few days together they spent in the barn, where they slept on a pile of hay. Nevertheless, the newlywed couple accepted their sorry situation gracefully. One day, they heard a voice coming from outside the barn. Look, have mercy on your destitute brother, the man came to her from outside. My wife has given birth, and I have nothing more than a plant of flower. Please have mercy on us and give us a little hay before my birth. Turning to his wife, he said, let us give praise to God for him. How but be generous towards us? He has given us more than others. Imagine how much worse our situation would have been had we not provided us with this hay. A short time later, Akiva went to seek out the Sage's house of study in agreement with his wife's condition prior to their marriage. And after 12 years of interpreting Torah study, interrupted Torah study, Akiva formerly the arrogant shepherd became the great Rabbi Akiva, whose reputation has an outstanding Torah study that's far and wide.
Il dit comme ça, tu as trouvé grâce, je me conforte à tes paroles importantes et sages, tu es digne d'être loué, glorifié, lui dit-il empressé. Aussitôt, il conclut un pacte entre eux, établir la ketouba, acte de mariage. Elle devint ainsi sa femme avec amour et élan. Lorsque le père apprit que sa fille s'était unie à l'un des serviteurs qui ne possédait ni son niveau ni son rang, il se fâcha profondément, le chassa du foyer, lui interdisant la jouissance de ses biens. Elle quitta la maison de son père et sans rien emporter, pas même une couverture. Il ne lui avait permis aucun objet. Or, son mari n'avait les moyens de lui procurer ni couverture ni édredon. Il avait fait dormir sur la paille et dormi à ses côtés. tandis qu'ils dormaient dans une telle pauvreté et de telles souffrances, ayant étalé la paille sur la terre, ils entendirent derrière la porte une voix qui implorait. Vous autres, choyez maîtres respectables et pitié de nous. Ma femme vient d'enfanter et je n'ai pour tout bien que le sol et la poussière. Donnez-nous un peu de paille pour poser sous notre bébé. Lorsque son mari entendit ces paroles, il lui dit, ma douce, rendons grâce à notre Maître, le Tout-Puissant, le Sublime, qui nous a estimés et il nous a donné davantage qu'à nos semblables, puisqu'il nous a donné la paille pour nous couvrir. Béni soit-il, béni soit l'Éternel, qui nous a fait connaître ce privilège. Puis son mari se conforma aux conditions qu'elle avait fixées et se rendit là où se réunissaient les sages. Il étudia la Torah et ses commandements et acquit de la sorte une grande sagesse. Et c'est le très connu Rabbi Akiva, réputé dans le monde entier et qu'aucun sage ne peut égaler. So he said, you see, the story of the biggest sage is when you are poor, you even see how privilege, how many privilege you possess. Même dans ta plus grande pauvreté, tu trouves que tu es chanceux, que tu as plus de chance et qu'il y a pire que toi. Et tu es heureux de ton sort. Encore une fois, je pose ma question. Comment on peut faire ça? Comment est-il possible de faire ça? One more time, I ask my question. How is it possible to achieve such a level? It's for sure, like Sarah Banit Nava, you have to convince yourself and to repeat it. Yes. But the question is, if I have to repeat it, it means that it's not so easy to achieve that level. Donc, si on doit se le répéter, c'est-à-dire que ce n'est pas si facile d'avoir ce niveau. So I'll give to you, like we say, a cheat code. Je vais donner un code pour tricher. To achieve that level fast, pour arriver à ce niveau-là vite. But this is not me, it's a Rakadosh. We're going to see it after. Pour moi, c'est Rakadosh. But let's take the last part of information. About it now, you can finish the last part, please. Yes.
At last, having satisfactorily fulfilled his wife's stipulation that he became well versed in Torah, Rabbi Akiva decided that the time had come to return to him. Following closely by his 12,000 students, Rabbi Akiva stood beside his wife's house. He overheard a conversation between his wife and one of her neighbors. The neighbor was in the midst of berating Rachel, saying, your father was right on all counts. First, Akiva was not worthy to be your husband. Secondly, after marrying you, he has left you for 12 years to live the life of a widow. To this, he heard his wife answer back proudly, yes, you're right, and I would be glad if you would stay to study Torah for another 12 years. One last words, Rabbi Akiva thought to himself, by hearing my wife's statement, I am entitled to return to my studies for an additional 12 years. Furthermore, that is what my wife truly wished I would do. And so Rabbi Akiva overcame the desire to see his wife after so many years and returned back to where he had come from. He spent the next 12 years studying with added zeal and teaching an ever-growing number of disciples. After 24 years of studying Torah, Rabbi Akiva finally returned to his wife, followed by 24,000 disciples. On hearing of Rabbi Akiva's exalted position amongst the sages of the same generation, Rachel's father, Paul Ben Savua, annulled the vow he had made so many years ago, that he then gave Rabbi Akiva half of his estate.
Et après, il dit comme ça. Dit, après 12 années, il revint dans sa ville, au domicile de sa femme, accompagné de ses élèves qui étaient au nombre de 12 000. Il courut seul à leur tête et se tint sur le seuil de la porte dans les désirs d'entendre ce que sa femme disait. Il perçut les paroles qu'elle échangeait avec quelques personnes venues l'importuner et lui disait, ton père a raison de t'avoir interdit son argent, car ton mari n'était pas digne de toi. Il ne te valait pas. Voici qu'après t'avoir épousé, il t'a abandonné et délaissé. 12 années se sont déjà écoulées sans qu'il ne te voie et que tu ne le vois. S'il restait 12 années supplémentaires, j'en serais satisfaite et heureuse, répondit la femme. Alors que Rabbi Akiva entendait cela et dit, cette réponse témoigne de son désir et constitue pour moi un accord. Selon la justice et la loi, je peux rejoindre ma place et y rester encore 12 années. Je peux intensifier mes efforts et augmenter l'enseignement prodigué à mes élèves. J'accroîtrai leur nombre afin qu'ils atteignent 2 fois ce qu'il est aujourd'hui. Il fit comme il avait décidé. Après quoi, il revint à la ville et sa bien-aimée l'accompagnait de sa bien-aimée accompagnée de 24 000 élèves. Lorsque son beau-père vit cette situation privilégiée et qu'il a compris, il se repentit. Il posa alors la question à propos de son serment, fit annuler celle-ci conformément à la loi et donna à son gendre la moitié de ses biens. Celui-ci, Rabbi Akiva, no one can be more than Rabbi Akiva. It's written that it was when Moshe Rabbeinu saw him in the future explaining his own Torah, he said, who is this man? Hashem, you may have given the Torah through the hand of this man more than me. Rabbi Akiva is called Ben Ger or Ger because there's a law in the Shulchan Aruch. If the two parents are Gerim, the son is called Ger because it's so powerful, this identity that the son is like the parent. Rabbi Akiva qui est inégalable, c'est le maître de la Torah orale. Aujourd'hui, dans son temps, même Moshe, quand il a vu, il a dit, mais comment tu n'as pas donné la Torah par les mains de cet homme-là, qui je suis moi, pour que tu me choisisses? Regarde comment il explique cette Torah. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Et après, il dit que Rabbi Akiva qui était converti parce qu'il parle de deux convertis, comme dit Shulchan Aruch, deux convertis, quand il donne naissance à un enfant, ça s'appelle vraiment un converti. Il est devenu le numéro 1, inégalable, juste parce qu'il était satisfait de son sang, just because he was satisfied about one's lot. To understand you can achieve that level, pour comprendre comment vous pouvez atteindre ce niveau, we have to study one very deep concept. On doit étudier un concept vraiment profond, which will help you to understand how come that sometimes even if you repeat yourself, Hashem knows, Hashem knows, Hashem knows, you still have that part of being not satisfied about your own situation. On doit comprendre qu'est-ce qui fait que même si on se répète tous les jours, non, Bezrat Hashem, Baruch Hashem, Bezrat Hashem, Baruch Hashem, en fin de compte, on n'arrive pas vraiment à accepter le niveau de ce qu'on a. Et on estime que bon, il y a toujours quelque chose qui ne va pas. C'est pour ça qu'on répète tous les jours. Meaning that we still have that level of not being satisfied. That's why we repeat every day. Because we suddenly understand that no, I'm not satisfied yet. That's why I have to repeat myself. I have to be satisfied. So the more I repeat, the more I'm showing that I'm not at that level yet. Le plus je répète, c'est le plus que je confirme que je ne suis pas à ce niveau-là. So what is the secret? C'est quoi le secret? The secret is what we call Ahava. I'm saying yes from 5 minutes, but she's not entering because I think maybe the network there. It is Ahava. C'est quoi la Ahava? The love. C'est l'amour. You will say it's crazy. Yes, we're gonna see how, because of this, many of us never achieve the level of being satisfied with what we have. On va voir comment, à cause de ça, beaucoup d'entre nous, on n'arrive pas à être satisfait de ce que l'on a. For that, we need to take, first of all, one text. It's in the Pirkei Avot. On va prendre un texte qui est in the Ethics of Fathers. Chapter 5. Chapitre 5. Sixteen. 16. Pirkei Avot, chapitre 5, Pasuk 16. I share a picture in the group. Je partage une photo dans le groupe. Now we start to study. Maintenant, on commence à étudier. Qu'est-ce qu'il dit ce Pirkei Avot? What this Pirkei Avot says in English, it's like this. If a love depends on something, then when that thing vanishes, the love will end. If a love doesn't depend on anything, then it will never end. An example of a love that depends on something was Ammon's love, which turned to be lost for Tamar. The story of Amnon and Tamar, they are, let's say, half brothers because they are both of them kids of David and Melech, but not from the same mother. And one brother built love for his sister, and it basically profits in the very bad way of the situations. This is what we call love depending on something. And an example of love that didn't depend on anything was the loving friendship between David and Jonathan. The loving friendship between David and Jonathan. C'est l'amour qui a trouvé Jonathan. So let's see in French what he said. En français, il dit comme ça. Il dit, tout amour qui est gagé sur une condition. Lorsque la condition n'est plus remplie, l'amour s'éteint. Et celui qui s'est gagé sur aucune condition, l'amour, dans ce cas-là, l'amour ne s'éteint jamais. Quel est l'amour qui est gagé sur une condition? C'est l'amour de Amnon et Tamar, les deux enfants de David Améler, pas de la même mère, mais du même père. Le frère a violé la sœur. Et celui qui n'est gagé par aucune condition, c'est celui de David et Jonathan. So now what's the connection? C'est quoi la connexion? C'est quoi le lien? Between Ahava, entre l'amour, and the fact that we can achieve the level of being satisfied of what we have. Comment on peut relier la notion d'amour et le fait d'être satisfait avec ce qu'on a? This is the secret that Akadosh gave in his books, and that secret is in the. You have the book here if you want.
There's another one? What?
Yeah, the book
In
here.
English?
No, it's in Hebrew.
Oh, no, okay.
Il y en a deux là-bas.
Non, je parle de celui-là. Yeah. It's in the book called Shar Ma'amare Razal. C'est écrit dans Shar Ma'amare Razal, at the end of the books, Daf Ayin He.
Okay, this one.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
that the ethics of the father?
Yes, but we're going to see how it will be explained according to the secret of our Torah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
Donc, I send the picture in the group. On voit la photo dans le groupe.
okay.
Ayin He. So here is what this is. The Hakadosh, our masters, will explain this verse. Va expliquer ce verset. Meaning, every love based on conditions will always end when that condition will be fulfilled. But every love built on unconditioned situation will always stand. So how the situation can help me to be satisfied about my situation and what I have, not to build any desires and vie about what people possess. How? Comment on fait ça? Comment une situation où en fait j'arrive à construire un amour qui n'est pas conditionné ou conditionnel peut m'aider à atteindre un niveau où j'ai la possibilité de faire quoi? De pouvoir avoir une situation qui ne sera pas d'être envieux de qui que ce soit, de quoi que ce soit. So what's happened? C'est de Hakadosh. Est-ce que la Hakadosh? Et dit qui Chez Adam, dit chez Adam, da. Kik chez Adam, loker et bat zugo. You have to know, tu dois savoir, when a man married his wife. Quand un homme marie sa femme. Yachol leolid banim min ashoresh shelo atzmo. It's possible for him to give birth to kids which will be from his own roots. Quand un homme marie sa femme, il est possible pour lui de donner naissance à des enfants qui viennent de la même racine que lui. Meaning, your kids are really like you. C'est-à-dire quoi? Tes enfants sont vraiment comme toi. They like the same thing. They study the same Torah. Ils aiment les mêmes choses. Ils étudient la même Torah. In the same way, de la même manière. Ou sinon, Gamken, Yachol leolid banim, min hashoresh shel acherim. Or you can also give birth to kids who are not from your roots. Meaning the father like Kabbalah, the son comes and no, I don't like your stuff. I just want to do my halacha, my laws. C'est simple. C'est-à-dire quoi? Le père, il aime le sod, mais il a un gosse. Non, moi, je veux faire que le pshat. Oh, you have the father. No, you have to do Torah. And the son comes, no, I want to do army. This is the proof that you can have some standard in your life and you give birth to someone who is the opposite, or someone who can be like a twin. C'est-à-dire quoi? Tu peux avoir des buts dans ta vie et donner naissance à quelque chose qui peut être l'opposé ou quelque chose qui peut être comme ton jumeau. This is the roots. How? Look at the text with me. C'est la racine. Comment? In Hebrew, he said, Kol ha'ava she'it tluya bedavar. If I translate word by word, si je traduis mot à mot, tout amour qui est construit sur la chose. Everything which is built on the things. Bedavar. Davar is a thing, something. It's what is the davar? It's a thing. It's not well translated. It's not conditions. No. Talui bedavar. Depending on something. Quelque chose qui est relié à quelque chose. This text, you can understand it from another way also. What is Ben Zug, Bad Zug? What is the couple here? Yes, physicality, father and mother. C'est quoi le couple ici? Bien sûr, dans la physique, c'est l'homme et la femme. But in your own life, dans votre propre vie, what is it? Your right brain and your left brain. That is father, wisdom, chokhmah. C'est quoi le père? La chokhmah. That is mother, the wife. C'est quoi la mère? La femme? Bina, understanding. Meaning, when you connect the two sides of your brain, c'est-à-dire quoi? Quand tu connectes les deux parties de ton cerveau, wisdom and understanding, you can build two things. Or something which is really yours, from your roots, or something which is not from your roots. C'est-à-dire, quand tu connectes tes deux cerveaux, le côté droit qui est la sagesse et le côté gauche qui est la femme, tu peux créer quoi? Le dat, you can build the dat, we can be from your roots or not from your roots, qui peut être de ta racine ou pas de ta racine. What does it mean? Ça veut dire quoi? When what you create from your thoughts are not from your roots, this is why you start to build and vie and desire other people's things. Because it's not yours. Quand tu construis quelque chose qui n'est pas dans ta racine, c'est là que tu commences à envier ce qu'il y a chez les autres. Because you feel unsatisfied and you build things. You have a life, you have a house, you have everything. But you look here. Why? Because the way you build, what you have built, it's not from your roots. Parce que ce que tu as construit, comment tu as construit, c'est pas de ta racine. That's why it's here, but you just want to push it here and to take this one which is not yours. C'est pour ça que c'est là, mais tu as juste envie de le pousser parce que tu veux ça qui n'est pas là. So what happened Qu'est-ce qui se passe? How come that we can build something which is not from our roots? Comment ça peut faire qu'on peut construire des choses qui ne sont pas de notre racine? It depends on what is your inspirations, from what you are inspired. Ça dépend de quoi tu regardes, de quoi tu es inspiré. If you have your eyes in the Torah, in the halacha, si tu as tes yeux dans la Torah, dans la halacha, de Moussa, in the ethics, dans l'éthique, you basically will build ear and ear from your roots. But when you bring down the intensity of receiving from your Torah, and you start to mix many thoughts, many way of lives, you start to put at the same level what the Torah said and what a random man will say because you find it on internet. Everything you build, because it's not from your roots, will not keep you away from the desires of envying the others. À partir du moment où ton inspiration n'est pas strictement dans la Torah, tu vas construire des choses qui ne sont pas les tiennes, qui ne sont pas dans ta racine. Tu vas faire quoi? Tu vas commencer à envier ce qui vient des autres. You want an example like this? You have the tendency that everybody do the same kind of job. So you're religious, t'es religieux? No, work like a Ghanaian. Fais comme Ghanaian. Why? Because the person don't try to find her own way. Try to find the way to survive in the system. So you know that Ghanaian, I have the hours, I have the holidays, and I have the money. Yes, but where does it come from? It comes from a logicality which is not from the Torah, maybe. The Torah is telling you, be satisfied about your own lot, or develop what is based on your own skills. Don't try to imitate what is the tendency, because the logicality of imitating the tendency, it's not from the Torah. Torah says every single soul, every single man, every single woman are unique. La Torah dit chaque personne est unique. Alors, comment on va se retrouver avec des personnes qui font toutes les mêmes choses? How can we be with people who do all the same thing? Or for the French community, la communauté française, everybody do phoning, they do marketing, in phone marketing, selling things. Why? Because I work from home, I make money. What are you doing? You create something which is not from your roots. Tu crées quelque chose qui n'est pas de ta racine. That's why you see people being unsatisfied. They have incomes, ils ont des entrées, but what they do? How much did you make this month? What the money you collect this month? I do like you, but don't succeed to close the same contract like you. And start to see jealousy. Comment tu as fait ce mois-ci? T'as fermé combien de contrats? You have better case than me, better options. That's why you make more money. Why? Because people are dealing with things which are not from their roots. Parce que les gens, ils s'attachent à des choses qui ne sont pas dans leur racine. So what is the first level of solution? To be able to be satisfied on your own situation, your own loss, is to start to know who you are. C'est de commencer à savoir qui vous êtes, who you are, and what do you like, and what do you want to do, based on your own skills. Ça veut dire que vous devez savoir d'abord qui vous êtes, qu'est-ce que vous aimez, basé sur votre propre qualité. This is the thing. People have no time to listen to themselves. Like we said, the story of Akiva. Even parents, sometimes they block you to make that work. They want you to be fit in a system. So they push you in a way. What they are doing, they are killing you. Why? You are building things which are not from your roots, the roots of your soul. Et ils vous bloquent parce que les parents qui poussent les gens à aller dans une certaine direction. You have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be... What is that? Je dois. But I will build things which are not from my roots. That's why you will not be satisfied. C'est pour ça que vous ne serez pas satisfait. So all of you, if you have people come to you and telling you that they don't like their life, and you see that from the external side, their life is good. We have the basics, but how come they're not satisfied? It's because what they have
Ravi?
built is not from their roots. Oui, yes.
Si un enfant, il n'est pas comme toi, il va dans un autre sens, mais que toi, tu as envie de le faire aller, tu vas devenir médecin comme ton père, etc., etc. Est-ce que c'est parce qu'il vient comme tu as dit, d'un shortage d'âme différente, et le fait de le forcer à aller dans ton shortage d'âme, c'est une violence pour lui?
Oui. Je traduis ta question et je réponds. She's asking, let's say at the end of the day, you create something, or kids or the situation, who is not from your roots. What do? You try to force him to go on you to come back on your roots. What do? Let's say you like him like this, and no, the kid is from another roots. He wants to do the opposite. So what are your reactions? What are the good reactions? He's asking, is it violence to force him to come back in the roots? The answer is not so easy. La réponse, elle n'est pas si facile. Mais c'est ça, voici la direction. Here's the direction. Basically, when you see that you have built something which is not from your roots, quand vous voyez que vous avez construit quelque chose qui n'est pas de votre racine, you have to start to work on yourself. What does it mean? You, if it's a kid, you make that kid because the first year of the wedding, if you don't have a kid, the family will start to talk. So you make things because it's the tendency. You don't want the pressure of the society. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Tu t'es marié, tu veux faire un enfant vite parce que tu veux pas que les gens ils disent ah, elle est pas fertile, premier mois du mariage. Donc tu n'as même pas préparé quelque chose qui est de ta racine. You don't prepare something which is on your root. Basically, when this happens, quand ça se passe comme ça, for the parents or from the situation you have created, we want you to do teshuvah. To understand, you know what? Okay, I bet this kid, I put myself in a situation because I had some pressure on me. Ok, j'ai fait cet enfant ou j'ai eu cette situation parce que j'avais une pression sur moi. The first thing to do is to let him be according to his roots. La chose à faire, c'est de le laisser être selon sa racine. But if you keep this situation silent in your heart and making your repentance, say, I know. Et si tu gardes ça bien dans ton cœur silencieusement, sans le bloquer, sans le forcer, mais avoir constamment une repentance en disant, je sais que j'ai sorti quelque chose qui n'était pas dans ma racine. Je l'ai fait par envie, par imitation. I know I did something wrong because I did it with personal envy or by desire to being like the others. You will see that the more you work on yourself, the more that kid will come inside of your roots. Le plus tu vas travailler sur ta personne, plus cet enfant viendra sur ton chemin. But you should never force him. Il ne faut jamais le forcer. Because he came with another roots. Il est venu avec notre racine. But it's possible to connect him to the roots. But based on your teshuvah. C'est possible de le reconnecter à ta racine, mais basé sur ta teshuvah. So listen now what Hakadosh is saying. Right? Ce que Hakadosh dit. He continues, he said like this. He said, לא להתבנים מן השורש של האחרים, וכן מי שלא לקר את בת זוגו הוא דומה לזה, ואין בה חלוק. גם דע, כי האב נותן נשמה לבנו, ועושה אותו חלק מלבוש של נשמה הבן. מצד זה חייב הבן בכבוד אביו. So he said, but what's happened? He said, when basically you succeed to build something from your own roots, it's like that thing that you created is dressed inside of your own wisdom, energy, kohot, strength. Quand tu construis quelque chose de ta propre racine, c'est comme si cette chose-là, elle est habillée dans ce que tu es, dans ta chokhmah, dans ce que tu représentes. Based on that, if everything you created, actions, concepts, ideas, kids, children, I don't know, everything you can create is really from your roots, you say, look, what's happened? The creations will always give to you respect and honors. Ce que tu as créé te donnera toujours du respect et de l'honneur. What? It's mean like this. If I made big company, I make big money, and I'm not satisfied about what I have. C'est-à-dire que je ne suis pas satisfait par rapport à ce que j'ai, je me suis fait beaucoup d'argent. It means that what I create is not giving me kavod because it's disturbing me. Even if I have, I think that I'm missing. Même si j'ai, c'est que je n'avais pas. How do I know? It's simple. Sometimes, even the non-Jew, they know now that every materiality possesses spirituality inside. Que chaque matérialité possède une spiritualité intérieure. I made an experience one day. I ate with one of my masters, and he's used to make his own vessels. Il fait toujours lui-même il fait ses ustensiles, his own cup, his own plate, and so on. And he had plates, very small plates, done with a real clay and so on. Well done. Il fait ses propres plats avec de la vraie argile. One day I was in his place, he gave me some rice. A very small quantity of rice on it. I know myself. I said, oh, I think it's maybe small. But you know, it's your master, you keep quiet. Je me dis, bon, c'est quand même petit, je connais ma taille. Je me dis, bon, c'est ton maître, tu ne peux pas parler. We ate, and even the folks, he does the first by himself. With all the laws we know about the Torah, when you make vessels. Même les fourchettes, il les fait lui-même. We ate, and when we finished to eat, I was feeling satisfied. I said, what is that? Et quand on a fini de manger, je me sentais rempli. He told me, you know what? He said, when you eat with vessels done with the wisdom of our Torah, they also give to you strength in the food. You feel that the vessel helps you to be satisfied also. Il dit quoi? Non, en fait, sache que même les ustensiles que tu utilises, quand tu les fais toi-même, que tu les as construits, tu les as mis au feu, que tu les as sortis, quand tu manges, ils t'aident à être rempli. This is one of the example. Something you create, because that rice, it was the creation of his work, going to the shop, buying with the money he worked with. Yeah. And now he's eating. That small portion of rice gives to you satisfaction. Cette petite portion de riz te donne satisfaction. What is that? Respect and kavod. C'est quoi? C'est du respect et de la respectabilité. But some plate you put ton of rice. Ton of it you eat 2 hours after, you're hungry. From that situation, you can say it is disrespectful. Why? Because the Torah said a proper daily rhythm is 2 meals a day. La Torah me dit qu'un bon rythme, c'est 2 repas par jour. The morning, the night. So how come I cannot all that? Because my creation are not respecting me. Parce que ma création ne me respecte pas. What does it mean? It means that my wisdom is not covering all this creation because it's not from my roots. C'est-à-dire que ma sagesse, elle ne couvre pas tout ça parce que ce n'est pas de ma racine. Same thing with money. Même chose avec l'argent. Same thing with the clothing. Même chose avec les habits. Same thing with your couple. Every time you have something which is yours, always ask yourself, how did I build it? If you build it in the proper way, connecting the holiness and the purity of your wisdom and your knowledge to create something called understanding in a very high level, that thing should give to you respect. This respect will never feel unsatisfied. C'est quoi le respect? Si tu ne seras jamais insatisfait. From the kids, the same. The kids will always want to satisfy their parents. No matter what he will have to face, but you will keep in mind, I don't want to bother my father. He have to be happy about me. He have to be quiet about my situation in the city. He has to be quiet about our reputation. That kid is from your roots because he is respected, satisfied. But the kid who is not built from your roots, you will see that sometimes you see these kids make problem about our family here. His behavior is building bad reputation for us. Why? Because it's not from the roots. Because ce n'est pas dans la racine. That's why you want to satisfy. And you start to talk to him. Say, look, you see the other kids, they know Torah better than you, they are younger than you. Look at this family, they do better than you. That is the proof that you're not satisfied. C'est la preuve que tu n'es pas satisfait. So how do you build the proper path? Comment vous construisez la bonne direction? Just be careful about the love of what you do by connecting your wisdom to your understanding. Because this will build things from your roots or not. Parce que ça va construire des choses de ta racine ou pas. Regardez ce qu'il dit. Beze ni Charlo, Afilou, Yemem Ashiar. C'est everything you build with a proper love, tout ce que tu construis avec un amour parfait, meaning being brought from your own roots, que ça a été amené de ta propre racine, it will stand forever, even when Mashiach will be there. Ça va rester pour tout le temps, même quand Mashiach sera là. Meaning that creation is perfect. Et aval, les traitaments ou les olam haba, כל אחד חוזר לשורשו לגמרי. בכל זה היינו שאין חלוק בין אב לבן, פחות מתג מדרגות. אבל אם יש ביניהם תג מדרגות או יותר, ודאי שיתבטל זה בזה, ונעשו שורש אחד גמור לעולם ועד. To say what's happened when you create something which is not from your roots, you can keep it and make it better, improve it till Mashiach will come. Quand tu fais quelque chose qui n'est pas de ta racine, tu peux la garder et l'améliorer jusqu'à ce que Mashiach arrive. When Mashiach will finish his work, quand Mashiach a fait son travail, every one of you go on his own path because you're not from the same roots. But if you are from the beginning, from the same roots, after Mashiach finishes his task, you become one. Mais si tu fais quelque chose qui est de ta racine, après que Mashiach est fini, vous devenez un. What does it mean? Remember, before a few weeks, we saw that every single action, speech, thought we have, we create malachim, we create angels. On a vu que chaque situation dans la vie, que ce soit parole, pensée, action, on crée des anges. So don't think that when you say the blessing, Shakor Yavaro, that nothing has been created. No, something has been created. And this creation is an angel. Cette création, c'est un malach, c'est un ange. You and him will be one. If you are from the same roots, meaning you believe in the proper love. Meaning all the creation you will have been created. You imagine a whole life, 120 years, how many blessings you have done, how many tzedakah you gave, how many help you gave. You create many creations, including your own kids. All these can become one if all the action, thoughts, and speech have been based on a proper love. Meaning, I want to do things according to my roots, my needs, who I am and what I need. Not based on what people tell me to do or because I'm buying this and this and this. Pas basé sur ce que les gens font, parce que j'ai envie de ça et ça. Après, il dit, aval, ונעשה שורש אחד גמור לעולם ועד. אבל הרב המובהק, כשנותן רוחו בגו תלמידו, ואז נדבקים נפשותיו, בסוד תדבק נפש דוד ויהונתן, אז לעולם הם מתחבבים תמיד, ואם בנו של אדם הוא רבו, ויש ביניהם אחד מתק מדרגות, אז שניהם מתדבקים זה בזה בבחינת אחד. So say something. You say there's another concept. What are the different way or options in that creation? First of all, you create action, speech, thoughts from your own brain, left, right, masculine, feminine. Okay. You create also kids with your wife. Okay. So there's another option where basically you become the rabbi or the rabbinate of someone. Mais il y a une autre option où en fait, tu deviens le rabbin ou la rabbinate de quelqu'un. And you basically try to give to him advices, to give to him a strategy to have a better life. Tu lui donnes des stratégies, des conseils pour qu'il ait une meilleure vie. What does it mean? It said, this situation can bring both of them to also become one at the end. Et cette situation peut aussi amener les deux d'entre eux à devenir un à la fin. What is that example? David and Jonathan. David and Jonathan. Why? Because Jonathan is the son of Shaul, the first king of Israel. Jonathan, c'est le fils de Shaul, le premier roi d'Israël. He was supposed to be the next king. C'est censé avoir l'héritage. But because he saw David, and he saw this man with such deep wisdom and understanding about life, he said, no. How can I be king on this man? This man is my rabbi. So you will be king. So they make that, they seal that covenant. So we are one. And they will stay one. Et ils ont fait ce deal en disant, on est un, on va rester un. So now the question is, how can you always be sure to be able to build things from your roots? Comment vous pouvez être sûr de toujours construire des choses qui sont de votre racine? There's a secret in the text, you see. I didn't translate it for purpose. If you see on the left side, first line, it's talking about the distance between the two creations. Meaning, he said, this is you. Il dit, ça c'est toi. This is you. And this is your creation. C'est you, c'est toi, et ça c'est ta création. It's something very strange. He said, if between both of you, we have less than tack levels. What is tack? Tack is a code for 500. Tack, c'est un code pour 500. Why? Because staff is 400 in the numerical value, and kuf is 100. No, 500. He said, if between the two things, between you and your creation, we have less than 500 levels, it means that you are from the same roots. Si entre toi et ta création, on a moins que 500 niveaux, we're going to see what is that 500 in a few minutes. It means that you are from the same roots. C'est-à-dire que tu es de la même racine. But if between both of you, it's more than 500, c'est plus que 500, for sure, you are not from the same roots, and at the end of the day, you will have to be separated. Si vous êtes plus que 500, c'est sûr que vous n'êtes pas de la même racine et que vous allez devoir être séparés. I'll make it short, like this we finish. C'est comme ça, it's like this. In the Talmud Bavli, Masechet Brachot, and also in the Talmud Yerushalmi Brachot, in the Kitvei Ari, every time you see tak, à chaque fois que vous voyez tak, we know that we're talking about the size of the Etz Chaim, the tree of life. On sait que le 500, il est relié à la taille du Etz Chaim. It's related to the size of the Etz Chaim. All the code of the sage is that the Etz Chaim size is tak levels. C'est-à-dire que le Etz Chaim, il est tak level. So meaning, if I want to build something based on my own roots, giving to me kavod, honor and satisfaction, si je veux construire quelque chose qui est enraciné sur ma propre racine et qui va me donner satisfaction, I have to be sure that that things or that ideas will be built on the tack, on the Etzraïm. Être sûr que cette chose-là doit être enracinée dans le Etzraïm. What is the Etzraïm? The Torah of Sod. The Torah of Sod, the hidden Torah. Kabbalah, qui devait arriver. C'est la Torah du Sod. Why? Because what do the Torah of Sod? Push you to find your way. Elle te pousse à trouver ton chemin. Not to be like the other. De ne pas être comme les autres. To find your way, to understand your skills and to fix your problems. De trouver ton chemin, de comprendre ta force et de fixer tes problèmes. So the only way to be able to build things from your own roots is to be depth in the Etzraïm, which is the study of Sod, qui est l'étude du Sod. So my first advice for all of you, if you want to be able to know how to dip yourself, to dip your soul in the Etzraïm, is to study this book. Étudier ce livre. This book called Sha'arei Kedusha, written by Rabbi Chaim Vital, the student of Ari HaKadosh, the main student, the only one who was allowed to write things, is a book of ethics and morality. But not like you think, pas comme vous pensez. It's a book telling you the secret behind all this concept called being satisfied, unsatisfied, anger, jealousy, proudness, running after pleasure, talking too much. It's telling you what is the spirituality behind all this stage. And you start to know yourself. Vous commencerez à vous connaître parce qu'il te parlera de toutes les situations qui traversent la vie. So in order to know yourself, you have to remove what is not you. Pour vous connaître, il faut enlever ce qui n'est pas vous. C'est what we call tikkun amidot. The fixing, the reparation of the values, of the ethics, of the morality. When you fix yourself, suddenly you start to see who you are. Quand tu te répares, d'un coup, tu sais qui tu es. Based on that, you will build things from your roots. De là, tu pourras construire les choses de ta racine. What's happened most of the time? We don't take the time to know what are our weaknesses. On ne prend pas le temps de voir c'est quoi nos fautes. And not to fix ourselves, et pas nous fixer. We just run. On court. Like some rabbi from the Ashkenazi world used to say, if someone really wants to know what he thinks by himself, he should cut himself from any connection for 40 days, 50 days. Don't listen to radio, don't read any newspaper, don't talk with anybody, just say yourself silence and quiet 40 days. See, at this moment, we start to know who you really are. Of the rest of the time, you are the result or the product of informations surrounding you every single moment. Tout le reste du temps, tu es que la résultante des informations qui t'entourent. What your parents want or not want. What your community wants or not want. What the rabbi wants or not want. What the state wants, and you never know where you are. Et tu sais jamais où tu es. So what's happened with our generation? Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé avec notre génération? We basically build people who are experts of creating things which are not from their roots. On a créé des gens qui sont des experts de créer des choses qui ne sont pas de leur racine. Why? Because they don't know what is the real love. The real love, it's when your right brain, your left brain connect to create something which is from your own perspective, your own skills, your own ability. And like this, that creation will satisfy you. Parce qu'on ne prend pas le temps de connecter son cerveau droit et son cerveau gauche pour construire des choses qui sont de notre propre racine, notre propre possibilité, nos propres habilités. Et c'est pour ça que les choses ne nous satisfont pas. That's why the Ben Ish Chai is telling you, be happy about your own Lord. Look to Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Akiva. You sleep on straw that you're able to say, we are lucky that we have a missed straw. Why? Because you know that your level is to build the straw. And that straw satisfy you. But the other who are not built on this Etzraim, let's say, they say, oh, let's sleep on straw. What is that? You have to have a bed. You know, it's that daughter, the daughter of Kabasabua, the richest man of the city. How come you sleep on the straw? No, because you look with the eyes of the people who don't know what is the tak. So Bezrat Hashem, may this limud give to us sensitivity about understanding what is real love. Real love is to connect two parts of our spirituality or two parts of ourselves on the base which are ours. Sur la base qui sont les nôtres. On va connecter cela. But to be able to do that, we have to fix our dots. Pour être capable de faire ça, on doit fixer les dots. And there is many limud that I've been saying from 2 years on internet. When Rachel Osich is giving limud for a few months on internet, just go. It's a small book, but you should read it with someone who understands Hebrew and all the Kitvari, because many times there are hints. If you don't know what is said in the other books, you can just think that, oh, okay, I get it. Anger is like this. Okay, no. There's more than what is written. Il y a plus que ce qui est écrit. Bezrat Hashem, bracha v'etzlacha to everybody. Bénédiction à tout le monde. And may we hear only good news. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen v'amen. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Rabbi.
Well,
Amen, amen. Can you please just repeat the name of the book, of the sefer, please?
It's called Sha'arei Kedusha, the gates of purity. Huh? The way of the gates of holiness. I think on the website.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Merci.
Have maybe few chapters translated. Few chapters translated, or you can go on the Jewish store. It's only in Hebrew. Or you can go on our YouTube channel, Ocean Kadisha. You see the limud of Rachel on the first pages, the first chapters. Yeah. It's some limudim, some course, because we reveal very important points. We cannot put it on public because it's knowledge. You have to build it with other informations. So we need people who follows all the limud to not to be disappointed. So that's why some of them are public to let people know the way we study it, but most of them are private. That's why but this is a must. C'est une obligation.
But what we could do is you could actually Hebrew type the first bit and then it translates. It's painstaking, but you can do that with the translation program.
Google is not so good at Torah. It's better at text forms. Google doesn't know so much about Torah. Translates really strange.
The best way maybe is to, if you want to start, is go on Sefaria. You wrote Sha'arei Kedusha. S-H-A-R-E-Y. Kedusha, K-E-D-U. And read the first page, and after, try to get the limud that we have on internet. And after talk to Rabbi Rachel, I think it's written like this: Sha'arei Kedusha. And the author is Rabbi Chaim Vita. I think you translate maybe the 2 first chapters,
Yeah.
introduction. Like this, you can have an idea. Of
Yeah.
what-
I feel when it is, and then I think what I think what to make. Yeah, I take photos.
Bye bye, Ramanit Elisheva. Bye bye, Ramanit Emuna.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Rabbi.
Rabbi.
Merci à vous.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom et Laila Tov.